Perfect.
Do you know, I'm so happy that worked, because it's been a long time since I've did this. I think it's worked, at least. I'm gonna have to double check. Good evening. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't actually looked at anything Club World Cup yet, really, apart from the rules, in which I still haven't looked at the chips yet. So I've looked at the point scoring, and that's basically it. I've auto-made my team, and that's basically what we're going to be doing today. So I've not really looked at too much yet. Obviously, together we can all decide the chip strategies, potential, you know, good players. I'll be looking at some people in the chat to suggest some decent players for us, yeah, we can go from there and see, kind of look at some fixtures and stuff like that, and see what the best plan of action is going to be. Ricky, hello. Eunice, hi. Ishmael, hi. Tom is in the chat. Hello, mate. Gareth in the chat as well. Guru, I don't know the best chip strategy yet. That's basically what we're going to be deciding throughout however long this stream ends up. Gonna use the spreadsheet and everything like that, so it should be quite good. Looking forward to it. 28 people in here so far. Thank you all for coming. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for. I did kind of look at my Champions League one. Obviously the Champions League one had 8 match days to look at, and that was 2.5 hours. So I'm hoping we can keep this one under 2 hours. I don't really want to go for longer than that. If we can go for about an hour and a half, that would be ideal. But yeah, I do still have to kind of look through everything that is available. If you haven't joined my mini league already, yeah, pointing this way, it should be right here, the code. We've already got quite a lot of people in so far. Unfortunately, for some reason, it doesn't tell me how many people are here. I can go on here and show you. But we've got quite a lot. Obviously, the link's in the description as well. Links in the stream description if you want to just auto-join through there. But the code is also on screen. But yeah, we've got a lot of people in here so far. And again, I don't really know exactly how much. But yeah, it's looking good. So make sure to join if you haven't already. FPL Bateman, hello. Eunice, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I would like to live stream more. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to do it consistently enough for there to be, you know, for people to come every single time. But I feel like these are good ones to do every time, you know, something new comes out, start of the season, start of a new tournament kind of thing, and just do like a plan and stream. And I feel like it's a little bit easier than, you know, every single week going over the same things that I have done in all my videos throughout that week, if that makes sense. What rank did I finish in Champions League Fantasy? I think I ended up 19k, which is unfortunate. I was going into it with 17k and had to go big differential, so I ended up benching Dembele and I never went for Dewey. I had the 5 PSG defenders who obviously got a clean sheet. Ended up captaining Nuno Mendes again and Hakimi scored. I feel like I'd done that in the semi-final as well. I went for the wrong fullback. But I got the 5 clean sheets from the PSG defenders. I just never had anyone that scored. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia scored. I never had him. Dewey scored 2, I want to say. I never had him. I don't think Dembele got a goal. Obviously, I never had the guy who scored the 5th goal. So really, my defence done fantastically. I just missed out on all the goal scorers. So I ended up dropping about 2,000 places in the final. And I think that is my worst season so far for Champions League Fantasy. I think I have kind of been about at least top 2k in the 3 years that I've played it. So 19k, but at the end of the day, it was the first year playing the new format. So yeah, I'm hoping we can go into it next year with a bit more knowledge into how the game's gonna go. Raul, what did I do for a living? I just finished university last year. So I'm still working part-time, and then, yeah, doing this as well, but that's me for right now. What do I think about the transfers that happened in the recent days of the Premier League? I'm trying to think what has happened in the recent days. Kelleher is a fantastic transfer for Brentford. I think he'll be class for FPL next year as well, considering how good Flecken was, and Kelleher is just a much better goalkeeper. So that should be good. I'm hoping he should be about a 4.5 million goalkeeper. So he'll be really good. I don't really know who else has been transferred. Cunha to Man United and Buemo to Man United. I can't believe that. I feel like that is crazy from him. With all the offers and potential moves on the table. But I suppose Man United's Man United at the end of the day. Captain Hakimi in the final, yeah. For me, it was Hakimi or Mendes. Unfortunately, ended up with Mendes again, and he didn't really do too well. Ended up top 2k with that, even the finish. I mean, to be fair, Ishmael, top 2k is still a brilliant score. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's really good still. I think I ended up top 5%. I think I got the notification that I was going to be top 5%. This is my auto pick team, by the way, so if you're looking at this thinking, what the hell is that? That's what this is. So I've not actually looked at anything. Now, I want to look at the the chips, because I think it's the only thing I've not looked at yet, and I don't know what any of them are. So I've looked at the... What have I looked at? Where's the points? There's the points. So I don't really feel as though they've gave the best explanation of this, because I'm assuming that because there isn't an explanation that if a player wins a penalty, they obviously don't get the assist as well. I'm going to assume that's the same with winning free kicks, that players aren't going to get assists for that. Because winning a penalty, I actually think I prefer that. Winning a penalty is 2 points rather than assist, because obviously if they miss the penalty, you still get the points for that. There was something else I seen. Yeah, so like for midfielders, you know, every 3 tackles they get a point. For every 2 chances created, they get a point. I think that would have been good if we done it for defenders as well, because obviously as someone who played Sky for so long, you know, tackles were a big part of that. And for defenders, that was a really good, you know, avenue to getting points and stuff. I like the every 2 chances created. However, I don't think players make that many tackles per game to the point where they're going to get a lot of points from this. You know, it might just be like 1, very lucky if they get 2 points from that. But I think it would have been so much better if they'd done it, you know, just in the game. So if any player got 3 tackles, they would have got an extra point. Any player created 2 chances, they would get an extra point. I think it doesn't really make sense that it's just for midfielders. Same with forwards, getting 2 shots on target, an extra point. Why not give that to midfielders as well? Have I seen how the captaincy works? I kind of have. Is it not the same as Champions League Fantasy? I feel like I gave it like a rough look, and I think it's the same as Champions League, but you can only do it once rather than every day. So during a live match day, you can change your captain an unlimited amount of times as long as the new selected captain is yet to play in the current match day. So what I look at that is if you've picked a captain for the last day, you can change it an unlimited amount of times before that as long as they haven't played already, which makes sense. And once your captain's played, you can only change them 1 more time. Obviously you will lose the points still. So I think it's the same as Champions League Fantasy, although obviously you can only change 1 time. Sparta, how are we? I'm actually going to close this because I think it's a little bit bright. I hope that's a bit better. But yeah, so boosters is what I've not looked at. Boosters / chips. So actually, so I'm guessing you get unlimited transfers for the round of 16, which is ideal. Makes things a little bit better. Obviously, yeah, just your usual wild card. 12th man, allow you to select 1 additional player to score points for your team in a match day. When selected, the 12th man cannot be substituted, captained, or transferred. You can select any player to be your 12th man, as long as that player is not already part of your squad. So that doesn't seem that great. It seems, yeah, like a bit of a throwaway chip. You just get 1 extra player, and you can't captain them. I suppose the fact that it can be anyone is pretty decent. You know, just throwing in a random premium striker one day when maybe you want 4 strikers rather than the 3. I suppose that could be quite good. That's definitely a group stage chip. I would imagine. A maximum captain allows you to get double points from whichever player scores the most points from your starting 11. This player will be automatically assigned the captaincy. So that's a really good one as well. I guess that would probably be best used in a match day where maybe 3 or 4 teams have an easy fixture. I think Bayern are playing Auckland in the first round. I think that's the only fixture I've actually seen. It seems to be the one that everyone is talking about. So I suppose if Bayern were playing Auckland and Real Madrid had a really easy fixture as well as PSG, you could use the maximum captain there, and you can just kind of spread your bets on whichever player does the best. So that's what I'm getting from that. Then a mystery booster will be revealed once Matchday 3 locks and the round of 16 opens. Okay. It can be used for one round of the knockout stage. All boosters activation can be reversed. Ah, so this is different. All boosters can be reversed before the matchday locks out. This will simply be done by clicking deactivate. Except for my wildcard. Alright, so I don't really think they're the most powerful chips ever, which is probably a better thing. But I think your 12th man and maximum captain are probably just going to be the two that gets used in the group stage. Obviously you can't use a chip in matchday 1, so matchday 2 and 3 you probably want to just use your maximum captain and your 12th man. Save your wildcard probably until maybe the semis, and then whatever this mystery booster is seems to be the move. So Harry's said to use the 12th man to get a 4th Bayern player against Auckland. Does that mean you can use a chip in matchday 1? Because if so, then it's a little bit more interesting. Obviously, playing Champions League fantasy, you can't use chips in matchday 1. Pretty sure you can use one in matchday 1. That's decent then. Okay, interesting. Good to know. So, hold on, actually, let me quickly swap over here. And I'll just open up my Excel spreadsheet for today. I've kind of prepared a small spreadsheet. Well, I say a small spreadsheet. I've put up a fixture ticker and stuff like that. We are using Mr. FPL Bartowski's fixture ticker today. Which is based on the ELOs of each team. I think it's the Opta ranking, or Opta power ranking ELO or something like that he's used. So this is what we've got, and it's basically ordered in the teams with the best fixtures to the worst fixtures. So again, all of your big teams are going to be at the top here. Teams such as Borussia Dortmund, City, Inter, Chelsea, Venice, Bayern. All your big teams, and then again your weaker teams down the bottom. I've never heard of half these teams, I must say. Esperance, no idea who that is. Wydad, no clue. The rest, I think. I've never heard of Ulsan. Mamelodi Sundowns. 4 teams I've never heard of in the tournament. The rest I kind of have a rough idea. No idea how good they are. But this is what we're going to be looking at to decide obviously some players and a potential chip strategy as well. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit wary of is how teams are going to treat this in the group stage. For example, are Man City taking these first 2 games as pre-season and just playing a lot of youngsters, you know. So I think, obviously, I don't think it's worth going against that. You know, I would still want Man City players in there, but I wouldn't go against teams like Porto, Inter Miami, you know, teams that are going to take it very, very seriously. River Plate, you know, with a good game in the first leg, I feel like they are more likely to take it more seriously and a chance to prove themselves against the big teams, whereas I feel like the big teams, you know, you could easily see a lot of youngsters playing in here. So I think like a River Plate striker, you know, Flamengo striker could be decent moves. You know, this is just off, you know, this is my first time looking at this. So I don't really know, but that's just my opinion on it. Okay, so Abby says you can use the wildcard. You can use any chip except the wildcard in matchday 1. Okay, so that's good to know. That is interesting. So yeah, I think that's basically what we're going to be doing today, is going through the best fixtures, seeing who we want to be targeting in each match day, and potentially where we can use our chips, and then looking at a short list where we can look through some players, and then a draft at the end of that, and you know, kind of get a good idea of how the game's going to go, obviously just for the group stages. I quite like the idea that it's only 3 match days, obviously got that World Cup format, and we don't really have to do too much planning. So as someone who maybe wants to enjoy the summer a little bit more, I don't think you really need to plan that hard for this. So again, I don't think the stream should be too long, if we are being honest. Prize pool is huge. They probably go close to strongest 11. Real even paid 10 million to get Trent for this tourney. To be fair, I don't doubt that teams will take it seriously as they get to the later stages. I just think like a Man City's gonna think we're gonna sail through this group no matter who we play. You know, I think in the quarters, semis, and final, that's when you'll see full strength teams. But maybe like are Bayern Munich gonna play a full strength 11 against Auckland in the first round? You know, I'm not really too sure. There's a rule where FIFA have said you have to pick your best team. That's interesting. FIFA said they wanted teams full strength, so interested to see. Yeah, I guess so then. Fair enough. Adeyemi Guirassy from Dortmund. Phuket, hello. But yeah, we might as well just get started then with the ticker and kind of see who we're going to be looking at, chip strategy wise. If you've got any questions at all as we go through this, just drop anything in the chat, or anything you want to talk about. So we'll start Dortmund. Let me actually fix this up. Dortmund who are playing against Flu. This is going to be weird. Because there's no... Do you know, I didn't even realise there wasn't home and away games. So where actually is this tournament getting played? Is it a Saudi thing? Or is it... I don't know. Is it getting played all over the world? Is it in America? I feel like that springs to mind. It's going to be in America, isn't it? Mamelodi Sundowns. No, I'll focus on Matchday 1 for now. So Wydad. That is America? Okay. So everyone that's in here, has everyone played Champions League Fantasy this year? Or is anyone kind of brand new to this kind of thing and you're just like an FPL player? Because this kind of, I don't know, it seems like a bit of a mix between Champions League Fantasy and, I never played World Cup Fantasy, but I feel like it was kind of like that. But obviously I've heard that was a big sham World Cup Fantasy a couple years ago. And obviously that would have been a FIFA thing, I think. Also, how's the music? I wanted to ask that at the start. Is it too quiet, too loud? Let me know. Do I want to include these teams? I suppose you include Real Madrid against Al Hilal. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I feel like this is like, I've got no idea who any of these abbreviations are going to end up being. Wydad are from Morocco. Okay. Sundowns from Africa. What was the... I wanted to say that, what was the... What's the word? What was the... not restrictions. What was the what qualifications did you need to get into this tournament? Because how the hell have Salzburg made it in here with everyone else? Benfica against Boca. Let's do that. And then is that it for the good fixtures, do we think? Porto and Palmeiras, I wouldn't say that was an easy one. I wouldn't say that was easy. River Plate, I guess, can go in there. Put them against that, I guess. And then we'll leave that. Yeah, we'll leave that for match day 1. Music's nice, okay. Good to know. Thank you. Oh, the deadline's like 2 AM? Jesus Christ, I never even thought about the match times. Hold on, I need to see this. So the game's not kick off till like... the game's late at night. 1 AM. Nah. 1 AM. Ah, do you know what? That's not that bad. At least you can watch like at least 2 of them. And I'm guessing they've put the European... yeah, so they've put a lot of the European fixtures on at that time. Which I guess is kind of good. 1 AM's a pain though. So at least we can wait, okay, so that's a Sunday night as well. Jeez. The winners of the Continental Cups in every continent of the last 4 years. So where does Salzburg... I assume Salzburg are there because it's 2 teams per country from Europe. So is like Austria just... I don't know. I don't really get that, to be honest. I don't know how Salzburg... like, 2 teams from every country, sure. But there's only 1 from France. 1 from Germany? No, you've got Germany. You've got Bayern and Dortmund from Germany. Chelsea and City. Makes sense. Atletico and Real. You've only got Porto. Oh no, Porto and Benfica. Am I missing a French team? PSG. No, so I think there's only 1 French team. And 1 Italian team. No, there's Inter and Juventus. Yeah, I'm really confused as to how Salzburg have made it in there. But anyway. So Dortmund players are looking class. Is that something we can say right off the start for the full thing? What am I doing? There we go. They're playing Mamaloni Sundowns. City are playing. All these teams have good. Yeah, so all these teams have good fixtures. We're basically. This is going to be quite hard to pick a chip strategy, isn't it? Because I feel like all the good teams technically are going to have good fixtures in the groups. Inter are playing against the Red Diamonds. Also, what do we think about Inzaghi getting or leaving Inter Milan? I feel like he was working wonders with the team that he was given. The fact that Inter have barely spent any money and he's made, what, 2 Champions League finals with them and won the Serie A. And when you look at that Inter Milan team, I don't really think they look that great on paper. You know, obviously fantastic defensively and as an actual team, but like a Pavard in defence along with, you know, a Cherby isn't really the best of defences. Obviously Bastoni is world class, but he's really the only one there. Dumfries, DeMarco is terribly defensively. Terrible defensively. So I don't know. I think Inter Milan are going to struggle a lot for the next while. Obviously if they get Fabregas, I don't really know too much about Fabregas. He seems to be doing quite well with Como. But I don't know. Also, I think Inzaghi's way too good to be in Saudi. I feel like Inzaghi's easily one of the best managers in Europe. And now he's heading off to Saudi for a couple of years. I feel like whoever ends up getting... I thought it would have been fantastic as, you know... I don't know about a manager in the Premier League, because obviously as... You know, I don't know if that would suit... His playstyle would suit the Premier League. Where am I looking for? River Plate. Do they have good fixture? Nah, we'll take River Plate away. Can you show how to play fantasy in the app? I'm not finding it in the app. I obviously can't get it up on my phone now, but we've got... I think you go into the FIFA app, log in, and then it's Play Zone. And then when you log into the Play Zone, there's a fantasy section. Like, it's one of the first sections on there. Look, thank you very much for becoming a member. Wow. Thank you, mate. I hope it treats you well. You should have a nice little badge. I actually think you're already a member, because I feel like the green badge is the 2-month one. So thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Worth including Flamengo in Matchday 1. They score a lot in the Brazilian league. Who are Flamengo playing against? Yeah, okay, I will include Flamengo. Flamengo are playing against Esperance. Yeah, we'll do that. Matchday 2, we've also got LAFC against Esperance. I guess we might as well include them. Don't know who's really going to be... I don't know who actually plays for LAFC these days. Inzaghi left Inter today, Theo Hernandez and Inzaghi first match against Real. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting about that. So is it Al Ali that he's signed for? Al Hilal. So Inzaghi's going to be the new Al Hilal manager, and they're playing in the Club World Cup. Interesting. Salzburg's placed on their European coefficient, but surely there's a better team than Salzburg out there based on coefficient. So I'm guessing, are they just like the best ranked team outside of the top 6 leagues or something? Maybe. Fluminense. Are Fluminense worth including? Is anyone going for Fluminense players? Anyone know if they're decent enough? We'll include PSG with Botafogo. Al Hilal against Salzburg, I won't do that. Atletico against Seattle. I guess we'll do that. Don't ask what these abbreviations are. These are no. I'm gonna make it easier. Okay, don't include them. Buanga from LAFC is the talisman, pretty much. Okay, I'll add him. Oh, I'll keep him in mind. Giroud up top in Matchday 2. I don't even know who Giroud plays for. Does Giroud play for LAFC? Okay, so... Wow. So, Fluminense are 13th in the Brazilian league. Interesting. Alex, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. Differential from Al Ain, Sufyan Rahimi. Watches highlights against Al Hilal and Al Nassr. He scored a hat-trick in both. He is an insane striker. Al Ain? Where's Al Ain? Oh jeez, they've got Juventus and City. So he's maybe one for Matchday 3 then. Don't know how much he'll be, mind you. Right, okay, so that'll be Matchday 2, and then for Matchday 3... So Matchday 3 is where we've got more difficult fixtures. So that could maybe be your wildcard week, if you don't want to save it. That would be, again, 12th man, maybe, for Bayern. What's the other one? I'm trying to remember what the other chips are. I don't know. The other chip, and then the wild card in match day 3. So we'll include Dortmund again. They're playing against Ulsan. With a nice green fixture. Then we'll have Inter Milan against River Plate. Chelsea against Esperance. Max captain, that's it. Ah yeah, max captain. So City have a good game, Inter have a good game, Juventus have a good game. Max captain could be okay in match day 2. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Who else? Real Madrid have Salzburg. Porto against Al Ahly. I feel like Porto's games are like, if you didn't, I don't know, are Porto's games easy? I feel like they're kind of 3 decent enough teams. Is Al Ahly the Egyptian one? I think it is. Fluminense, Flamengo against LAFC. PSG against Seattle. We'll leave it at that. Wydad and Alien. Yeah. So is that what we're, so that's kind of what we're looking at for, you know, pickable fixtures. Twelfth man match day 1, max booster match day 2, wildcard match day 3 will be popular. That does seem to be the, like, straight off looking at this, obviously as someone who has no knowledge out with what we've just done in the last half an hour, it does seem to be the easy one straight off the bat. Botafogo will cook Seattle in match day 1. Porto of some of the best value assets. I did see, I don't know what his name is now, but I just remember him from Football Manager as Samuel Marudion, the Porto striker. I know it's still Samu. I don't know what the other name is now, but he seems to be quite cheap, and a lot of people seem to have him. Obviously Porto's fixtures: Palmeiras, Inter Miami, and Al Ahly. Porto of some of the best value assets. Right, so while we've got our fixtures, do we want to start filling in the shortlist, and we'll get some suggestions as to some players. So I'm gonna have a look at, or I don't know. Right, so throw me some players and include the prices, and we'll chuck them into the shortlist, and we'll see who we can get. So I'm seeing a couple of goalkeepers. Matchday 3 could be tricky with some rotation from big teams. That's true as well. Yeah, but I suppose looking at it, not that many of the big teams have good fixtures. So I guess if we could see in the first 1 or 2 match days who the good players are going to be from, you know, the teams that we don't watch as often in the other continents, you know, Monterrey, Boca Juniors, you know, it could be decent for a wild card. Again, it's basically a free hit, isn't it? Oh, I need to include Atletico. I don't think I did. No. Atletico are playing against Botafogo. And that. So yeah, I've not looked at any prices either yet. So I might as well jump in here and see what we've got to play with. So 11 million is the most expensive. Are these all strikers? No, so this is every player. 11 million is the most expensive, and 4 million is the cheapest. I think that again is probably the same as Champions League Fantasy then. Although I think their players are a lot more. So is it quite easy to build a team then? I feel like there's got to be like at least 2 or 3 good players around this 4 million mark. I didn't realise it was like 4.2 million and stuff as well. I feel like it would be quite easy to get a lot of premiums in here now. Armani, right, let's start adding to the short list. So we've got some budget goalkeepers. Armani, River Plate, he is going to cost us 4 million. Svensson from Dortmund, Cambiasso, Teles, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I need to have a look at the prices of all these players. There's a lot of midfielders between 4 and 6 mil. I feel as though the midfielders might be the best position purely because of, you know, the extra point for the goal. If they can take free kicks and get the extra point, chances created. I feel like midfield could be class. How do I even make transfers in this? Is it this button here? Yeah, it is. Right. So let's have a look at some of these players. So Svensson's from Dortmund. Let's have a look. No, that's midfielders. Right, defenders. How much is he? 5.3, so he's the most expensive Dortmund defender. Is that a premium defender price? What's the most expensive defender? Yeah, I would consider that. It's probably a mid-priced, isn't it? Yeah, we'll include him as a mid-priced player. Svensson. Dortmund for 5.2, I believe it was. Cambiasso, he's still Juventus? I don't really know how well he's been doing recently. I feel like he kind of dropped off. 4% selected. I'm loving the fact that, see this differential thing, that the player gets two more points. 2 points extra if they are less owned, like under 4% owned. I think that's a fantastic addition. Uh, 5.3. And it's at that point I'm thinking, do I have to wait and post my team after the deadline and hope that 5.3 for Svensson, thank you Alphabet. There's a lot, yeah, we looked at that. Francisco Moura scored 3 and assisted 7. He's a fullback. Let's have a look at him. £4.1 million for Porto. Interesting. 12% owned, so he's obviously a lot of people have noticed him. Okay. Budget defender. Moura from Porto. 4.1 mil. Ronwin Williams in goal was nominated for Goalkeeper of the Year, which Emiliano Martinez won. I've never heard of that man in my life. Goalkeeper. 5 million. Okay, I'll add him. Who does he play for? How have Mamelodi Sundowns get 5 million goalkeeper? I just realised these are in the defence. Ah, for God's sake. There we go. Tribben in goals. How much is Tribben these days? 5.3. Right, okay, I'll add Williams. he was 5 mil. And Trubin, I'm guessing he still plays with Benfica. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5.3. How much attention are you giving to the under 5% differential bonus? Obviously, like, I think there's some players that you can't ignore. You know, you're probably going to have, who's going to be very popular? Dembele, for example, 38% owned. He's probably going to be very popular and you probably can't really go against him. But I think if there's any opportunity that you can get to go for someone under that price, that seems so good. The fact that if they only score 4 points, you get a 6-pointer out of them. So that seems really good to me, and I think I would put a big focus on that. But obviously there is going to be a lot of premiums, you know, a lot of popular players that people are just going to own. Asensio from Madrid. Is that how it is? No, it's the other way. How much is he? 4.2? Wow. Okay, he seems pretty decent. Budget defender, Asensio. Is he going to play every single match? I'm trying to think if they signed a centre back. I don't think they have. Rodrigo Moura, I think we've got him. I think that is this guy, isn't it? Al Ali's goalkeeper, Shinawi. I don't know how I'm going to spell that, so I'm just going to look him up. El Shinawi, 4.1 million. Is he owned? 16% owned. So is he a good one then? I don't really know much about Al Ali at this point yet. I'll obviously put a lot more research into this over the next 2 weeks, but at this point I've got no idea about half of these teams. El Shinawi, 4.1 million from Al Ali. El Shinawi, Al Ali, 4.1. Agahowa, forward for Porto, 25 goals this season, 4.2 million. Let's find out. Is this Amarodion? It is, so this is him, Samu. I'm just going to call him Samu because I know who that is at that point. Samu Porto. Do you know what? No, that just confuses people. What's his name? Agehowa. 4.2 million. He is probably going to be in everyone's team, isn't he? I actually want to check the ownership on him. 7%? Wow. I was expecting that to be a lot higher than that. Okay, he looks pretty decent. You've put, yeah, I know. I'm glad I noticed that. Martin Fernandez, 6 assists from fullback. Fernandez. Also Porto. So are the Porto fullbacks just cooking this season? It's going to be this. Fernandez. Porto. 4.2. What else have we got? Enzo Fernandez, Di Arrascaeta, Actor Coglu, Mastantuano. I'm kind of looking for players that people have I've seen mentioned twice. I'm seeing a lot of people saying Rodrigo Moura. So that seems like he's going to be a really good one at 4.1 million for Porto. Trying to see who else we've got. Let me look up Di Arrascaeta. 6.2 million from Flamengo. Di Arrascaeta. I'm guessing that's mid-priced. Flamengo 6.2. He was 6, yeah. Okay. What else have we got? I know Williams is only Sundowns, but they should comfortably beat Ulsan and Matchday 1 at least. Yeah, that's fair. De Gregorio from Juventus. Jeez, I don't know if I can go down that route again. Anyone have him in UCL fantasy this year? Gareth, I'm pretty sure you did as well. I will include him. The ultimate troll. Quibiano from Botafogo. 4 million, defender. Owned by no one. Interesting. May as well. Does anyone have any more forwards? I feel like we've not got that many forwards. How much is Trent? Let's see. Trent is 6.4 million, the second highest in the game. Have we got any like really good ones in here? I feel like Molina's always good. Hodgson fit 5.2. It's very expensive for the Boca Juniors defenders. I suppose actually saying that, I don't even know if it is. 5 million. Is that expensive? Tom says Pavlidis in Matchday 2 will be a beast. Who have Benfica got in Matchday 2? Auckland? Yeah, fair. Where's Pavlidis? $7.8. We'll add him. I'm guessing that's not a premium price. Forwards. Yeah, no, that's not going to be a premium price. That is, mid-priced. Pavlidis, he was, I've lost his price, 7.8. $7.8 mil. Cubiano's a defender that plays as a left midfielder, but will he still be at Botafogo when the Club World Cup starts? Okay, so he's one to keep an eye on then. So 4 million defender who plays in left mid, but he might be transferring away, says Ricky Rich. Alphabet mentions Mastuatano. Is that right? Sorry, I don't want to butcher that. Someone else mentioned Mastuano. Trying to find the... There we go. Eunice also mentioned. Aidan Jones says Mastantuano. How much was he? 4.3. Okay. Budget midfielder. Mastantuano. From River. Is he the guy that's been linked to like Barca and stuff? I feel like I've seen quite a lot about him. De Gregorio was only on loan, not sure if they have an obligation to buy him. Really? Wow. Who's their other goalkeeper? Is it still Perrin then? I hope he doesn't get bought. I hate that guy. Wessam Abu Ali, crazy striker. Oh, I've just opened McAfee. Oh dear. Hold on. Hold on, I don't know what I've just done. There we go. I think we're back. I'm just hoping nothing. No, okay, we're good. What am I looking for here? I've lost track of everything there that popped up. Who was it? Abu Ali. 4.2 million forward for Al Ali. 15% owned as well, so another popular one. We'll add him in. $4.2 mil. Kelly from Juventus, good fixtures. Who are the Juventus defenders? Does Kelly play every match? 4.7. My forwards are Haaland, Guirassy and Kane. So is it quite easy to get a good team then? Igor Jesus from Botafogo for a Matchday 1 defender. I'm seeing a lot of Botafogo players that people are mentioning. Cheapest forward in the game. Really? Is he a big one? 0% selected. Anyone know much about Igor Jesus? Check on here. If this works. Botafogo. Nine appearances, 10 possible games. Yeah, fair enough. Wow. Why is he so cheap? 3 goals, 1 assist. Seems alright for a cheap attacker. Igor Jesus. Yildiz from Juve. Another one. I hope he's classed as a midfielder. Is he down as a midfielder? I feel like he plays as a winger. Nah, he's a forward. Yildiz 7.3. Okie doke. Yeah, so Perrin is the Juventus goalkeeper. Interesting, Tom. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of people picking Guirassy and Kane then. Dewey. How much is Dewey in this? I mean, by the way, how much of a scam is that he got Young Player of the Season? I swear, like, basically speaking on, you know, Champions League fantasy in general, people only considered him. I swear he never even got a game. I swear he was literally a bench player for so long for PSG in the Champions League, and he only, you know, he only semi-performed, I think, in the semis. I don't even think he was that great. And then in the final, I also think Dembele, and not as much as a scam as Dewey getting Young Player of the Season, because Dembele was probably the second best, but Rafinha not getting Player of the Season seems crazy. $8.2 midfielder for Dewey as well. I'm definitely gonna add him in because that seems pretty decent. Is that a premium price? Ugh, that is a premium price. Yuck. I'll add him in anyway. $8.2. We got any more? I suppose the premiums kind of write themselves, don't they? I don't really need that. The Egyptian player base from Chelsea is huge, so wouldn't take the ownership into too much consideration. Alright, okay. Fair enough. Didn't know that. So all the Egyptians are coming on and picking all the Egyptian players. Makes sense. I'm guessing no, never mind. I was going to say Salah, but he's not in the competition. Ignore me. What else have we got? Right, I'll add in some of the more obvious ones. Kane, 11 mil. Haaland, 11 mil. Vinicius and Mbappe. Mbappe's the better one now, isn't he? I feel like Mbappe's kind of picked the form up over Vinicius Jr. I feel like he scored like 35 odd goals this season. Messi. Has anyone picked Messi? 18% owned. He's auto-captained in my team. Dembele's going to be a pick, obviously. He's a midfielder, wasn't he? Yeah, 10 million midfielder. So it seems a bit expensive, though. Pavlidis, I've got Pavlidis in there. Girassi. Oh, is he cheap? 9 million. If you want to go for Boca Juniors defenders, go for Marchesen. Is he the goalkeeper? I think I've seen that on Golden Goal Tom's video. Boca. 4.1. We'll add him in. Okie doke. Elise, Palmer, Brandt. I swear Brandt's leaving Dortmund. I feel like I seen something a while ago that he was going to be gone. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Actor Koglu. There we go. 7.2. Is he Benfica? 7.2 mid. Can go in here. .2. Vinicius Jr. underrated. I'll add him in as well. Might as well. No, that's not where it's supposed to go. There we go. Triple upped on Girassi, Adeyemi and Brandt, Actor Koglu, Brandt. Right, okay, a couple of Brandt suggestions. I'll add them in. 6.5. Sufyan Rahimi. I think someone said that already. Rahimi. This guy? Or this guy? That's Hussein Rahimi. Sufyan Rahimi. 6 million forward from Al Ain. Rahimi. Al Ain. 6 mil. I want all of Kane, Haaland, Mbappe. I'm just making sure I've wrote those. Yep. Kane, Haaland, Mbappe, Girassis, and Pavlidis for Matchday 1 and 2. So I'm guessing then a lot of people are going to be 12th man, and I think basically looking at this, Girassi, Haaland, Kane, Mbappe. Where's Pavlidis? Against Boca Juniors. I think you could get away without him, but I'm guessing a lot of people will be probably using that 12th man quite early then. Enzo 6.2. Garassi's a bit of a tap-in merchant, and his matchday one opponent is Thiago Silva, who's been pocketing those types of strikers for 20 years. It's going to be so interesting seeing like half these players that you've not heard of in so long. Like, does Hulk not play for one of these teams? I swear Hulk from back in the day plays for one of these Brazilian teams. Right. So we've kind of calmed down now on the suggestions. Are we happy with what's here? I'll add in some premium defenders and premium goalkeepers as well. If anyone has any more suggestions before we move on, just drop them in. I don't know, who's the obvious goalkeeper picks? I guess Courtois. 6 mil. Acuna and Montiel, I've seen both of them being mentioned a few times. Are they both the same team? Are they both River Plate? Acuna 5.1. Montiel is also 5.1. Acuna. That's not right. Courtois a doubt. Okay. So we'll add in. Is it still Lunin? We'll add in him as well. 5.1 for Lunin. I swear Courtois is always injured these days. I swear that he's played like 3 games in the last 2 years. Stanisic for Bayern. 4.9 defender. I can't believe this game's in dollars as well, by the way. Alba's playing out of position on the wing right now. Sorry, that might have been a bit loud. Let's see, Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba in World Cup Fantasy, by the way. Our Sky World Cup Fantasy was fantastic. Alba. 5.1. Pavard, the cheapest Inter defender, is he? Obviously don't know how that's going to be now without Inzaghi. That's not Inter Milan. Internazionale, as Jamie Carragher would say. 4.8. 4.8 is not bad for Pavard. We'll add him in. Maybe go for Ryerson instead of Svensson. We'll add Ryerson in as well. 4.9. We're getting a lot of these kind of defenders here. And what else have we got? Rodrigo Moura we've got down the bottom. Martinez Quarta is the cheaper River Plate defender and always seemed to score for Fiorentina despite being a centre back. River Plate. $5.1. Okay, so another one to keep in mind at least. I think I'll keep it the now with the 2 because we're kind of running out of space. I don't want to fill it up with River Plate defenders, but good to know. Aldasori. Oh geez, which one? Who's owned most? 1% owned. Which Aldasari are we talking about? Salem Aldasari. Midfielder. 5.6. They all play for Al Hilal anyway. Is that a budget midfielder? Yeah, I'll include him as a budget midfielder. Is it Al Hilal? I think it was Al Hilal. Oh, there's 2 more as from Portal. Jesus Christ. It is Salem Aldasari. Al Hilal 5.6. Right, let me look up Portal players then. Porto. Mora. Oh, right, okay. So this guy's a midfielder. Budget midfielder, Mora from Porto, 5.2. Good to know. Oh, he's 4.2, sorry, not 5.2. Okie doke. Urbig is a goalkeeper. They might start him over Neuer. Okay, I'll add him in. Goalkeeper from Bayern München. 4.5. Do we think he does start over Neuer? Desari has been keeping up with Tony, Ronaldo and Benzema. Interesting for 5.6. Right, let me add in a couple more premium defenders and then we'll look into actually building a team and some chip strategies. So Hakimi's going to be in there 100%. 6.5. That's expensive though for defenders. What has happened here? What? I don't know who that was. Oh, there we go. Hakimi. Trent. I seen something today that Alonso's really looking to use attacking fullbacks. Obviously he did it with Leverkusen, with Frimpong and Grimaldo. So if we could see an attacking wing back, Trent Alexander-Arnold at Real Madrid, that could be very interesting. Vardiol's another one at 6.1. I'll also include Nunmenge. I think he was 6.3. He was 6.2. Great. Right. Are we happy with that? Rusnak. I've seen Rusnak mentioned a few times. Midfielder for Seattle. 5.4. Kokchu. Have I just spelt that? Yeah. 6.6 midfielder. Perfect. Most Man City midfielders are under 5% owned. They are just all a bit though, aren't they? Palmer. Jeez, he was a big troll this season. Messi as well, I'll include Messi at 10.5. This could be the last ever time Messi's chosen in a fantasy game. That is crazy. Don't know how much Palmer was. 9.6. Elise 9.4. Do you know, I really hope Sané goes to Spurs. I feel like he'll be fantastic at Spurs. Colwell. .3 defender. Cool. Are we happy with that? I think we'll... I mean, premium goalkeepers. I don't think anyone really picks premium goalkeepers. I don't know how many times I've said it myself. I hate premium goalkeepers. I feel like they're just never worth it because their ceiling's usually like 6 points. I also feel like we're destined to see like the Auckland City goalkeeper pick up like a 15-pointer in the first match because he'll pull off like 20 saves and just get so many points. Right, let's have a look at some teams then, shall we? I wrote Colwell in the goalkeeper spot, of course I have. Thank you. Right. Okay. That'll do us. Let's look into building a team then. And see what we can get. So we'll just take everyone out at this point, I think. And we'll start. So do I want to start off with premiums or do I want to start off with... I feel like you've got to go premiums, don't you? So obviously Bayern against Auckland is going to be your main fixture. We've got City against Wyatt. Bayern against Auckland. They're going to be the two that you're mainly going to be looking at. So we want Haaland and we want Kane. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Midfield. Olise, Musiala. How have they two been recently? I don't really know who's been the better one, because I'd be willing to go for Musiala. Oh jeez, Olise's been in the best form of his life. Yeah, no, it would definitely be Olise. 15 assists and 12 goals this season. How did Musiala get on 12 goals? Yeah, no, Olise's definitely the main man there. Olise. And then Bayern defence. Who has been playing in defence for Bayern? Stanisic has been getting a game. Has he been dropped yet? Is this kind of what's happened now? Obviously he was, you know, pretty shit. Or is he injured? No, he's injured. Mid-July. He's out until... Upamecano is due back though. And it probably would be Stanisic that loses his spot. How long's Davies out for? December? Okay, so Guerrero. How's he been? 1 assist, 1 goal. Yeah. Minutes have been off. I mean, it's not really been awful. I suppose it depends on his price. 5.8. Oh, jeez, he's one of the most expensive in the game. Ugh. Dyer as a differential. Right, let me check the price of the Bayern defenders. No one suggested any, did they? No, not yet. So we've got... Yes, so Stanisic would be class. I guess Dyer's your next best option, but at 5.5 million, you better just paying 5.8 and getting Guerrero in there. I'm going to go for Guerrero the now. At least that way I can work on it later. And we'll see what kind of money we've got. Next is Manchester City. Marmoush. It'd be good if he was a midfielder. I feel like he'd be so highly owned if he was a midfielder. 19%. So Marmoush is higher owned than Haaland is. I kind of get it as well. I kind of get it. Dyer's left Bayern, has he? Oh, he went Monaco, didn't he? Forgot about that. That's a good point, actually. Let me pick my goalkeepers. So, who are the teams? So, River Plate, good fixture. Flamengo, good fixture. Not really there. Not really there. How are they looking here? River Plate, yeah. And Flamengo. Okay, I'm going to go for the River Plate goalie. Who's everyone's goalkeepers? Have we went for... Are we all looking kind of at these players? Or has anyone went a little bit different? I'm going to go for River Plate anyway. Marchesen for Boca Juniors isn't... I mean, that's saves there as well though, isn't it? No, definitely not a clean sheet you would imagine, but saves are obviously a big thing. And then a clean sheet against Auckland in Matchday 3, but it depends if you're going to be wildcarding there or not. 1, 2... Flamengo goalie. Don't mind the Flamengo goalie, to be fair. Depends how much he has. And the Palmeiras goalie also doesn't seem a bad option. Armani and the Juventus goal. So Armani's definitely going to be the goalie. I'm guessing he's well over 5% owned as well. How's Guerrero for ownership? 9%. Is it 4% owned or 5% owned for the differential bonus? River Plate, Armani is 11% owned, so you're not going to get any differential bonus from him. Al Ali Shinawi. Al Ali. I think I'm going to go that. I'll go for him, because they're looking pretty... Actually, no, I want to know how much the Flamengo goalkeeper is. 5.3, yeah, I'm not going to touch him. Yeah, I'll go for Al Ali's goalkeeper. That way we've got the two cheap goalkeepers and just rotate them for a couple of match days. Lower than 5%, so 5% doesn't count. Okay. Good to know. I don't think I've got anyone under 5% yet. But I'll stick with this, and then we'll go match day 1. I do kind of want another River Plate player. Who had people mentioned from River Plate? No one really. Oh, it's the defenders actually. Double up on the River Plate defence. One of Acuna and Montiel. Let's see who the best one is. And how good River Plate have been this season. Where are River Plate? Am I blind? Oh, let's see. 9th. Oh wait, no, they've not even started. Right, okay. Undefeated in 5 games though, which is good to know. Acuna's got 1. Ah, but this is... I need to go look at last season, don't I? Is they even going to let me do that? This one? Yeah, these guys don't really seem to be picking up loads, the defenders. Right, okay. I'll leave that now then, because I thought they were going to be a lot better attacking wise. I need to have a look at the set piece takers as well. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a quick look at Club World Cup Fantasy. I know someone posted the set piece takers. I think it was Tom actually. I think Tom posted the set piece takers. There we go. Right, set piece takers for every player. Yeah, for every team. Where is River Plate? Okay, so I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. I'm going to pick him anyway, Mastantuono for River Plate, because he seems like he'll be cheap, and I feel as though he won't be very highly owned. And I'll stick him in for now. 17% is everyone just going for these players? What are the chances? Right, I've genuinely not seen like any drafts or anything yet, so I'm just picking players off my first instinct. Pumicano's under 4% owned. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with him and see if he ends up injured or not, and see where to go with that one. Where else have we got penalty taker wise? Alvarez for Atletico. See, Abu Ali, someone's obviously mentioned him for Al Ali, but he's not on the penalties. Samu I want to pick for... but then that's a striker spot that's quite hard to get rid of. To not, like, you know what I mean. I don't want to use a striker spot on someone that cheap. I feel like that's a 3 premium spot. Samu for your third slot makes the rest of your team easier to make. Who were people wanting to choose for that again? It was Girassi, Mbappe, Messi. Girassi is Fluminense. Mbappe is Al Hilal. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Samu. At least for right now. Again, it's another player who's really not under 5% owned. Oh, he nearly is actually. I forgot if he wasn't actually as owned as much as I thought. So this should be fairly easy to pick the rest of the team, I would hope. I feel like I should be able to go for a lot of premiums now. Juventus. I'm tripled up on Bayern. 1, 2, 3. I've only got one City, so I want to go for Vardiol in defence. And pick him. Oh, why has that happened? Guerrero. There we go. I want to do that. %37 owned. Midfield. Where's our premium midfielders at? See, PSG, like, I'd love a Dembele, but the fixture at the start is just not great at all against Atletico. Juventus. I don't really think anyone stands out from Juventus. Dortmund midfielders. Can maybe go for... I think I'll pick Çalhanoğlu, because they're looking pretty decent. He's obviously got the set pieces as well. 7% owned as well. I'm never going to get someone under 5% owned. Because Çalhanoğlu's obviously got all the set pieces. He plays Monterrey in the first leg, then it's the Red Diamonds in the second, and then River Plate in game 3. PSG is the reason I like a Matchday 2 wildcard. Where's PSG? Botafogo. Yeah, I get that. What else do I need? More defenders. Who's keeping a clean sheet in Matchday 1? I don't think we're going to have clean sheet odds and stuff yet. Svensson's under 5%. They have good fixtures. Yeah, so a Dortmund defender. And if Svensson's under... Yeah, so if Svensson's only 3% owned. Sort by ownership. They're all under 3% owned, to be fair. How have they been looking recently? Dortmund... Svensson. Yeah, I'll go for Svensson. Don't mind that. Where are we for budget? 27 million in the bank for 4 players. Okay. That seems like it should be quite easy. That's like 8 million a player. No, 7 million a player. I quite like that at 4.2 for Asensio, but how's the rest of Real's games? Al Hilal, Pachuca and Salzburg. I don't need to go for someone cheap though. Oh yeah, I wanted Moura. I totally forgot about him. Yeah, he goes in the team. He seems to be really good. And at that point I now get 23 million for 3 players. So, Hakimi. Oh, why has that done that again? Moura. 17 million for the final 2. What's my thoughts on Palmer? I don't think he's been good enough, and the price is a lot, so I'm not going to go anywhere near him. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I think, you know, we've seen it in FPL, you know, a lot of people started to go for him towards the end, despite him being in bad form, and he never repaid anyone. I can just kind of see that being the same thing again. Harry, I'm just building my team now, mainly for Matchday 1, but kind of just in general, and then I'll work on chip strategy, deciding on that afterwards, if that makes sense. I think for the group stages, I always like to have the best Matchday 1 team, Matchday 2 team, and Matchday 3 team, and just trying to use the chips as much as, like, to the best that you can for that. So I'm kind of mainly just focusing on a Matchday 1 team right now, and then we'll see how it looks for Matchday 2 and Matchday 3, and then work there with the chips. So Flamengo as well, I kind of want to pick a Flamengo player. What teams are they playing against? Esperance. Let me look up Esperance. Whatever league that is. The Tunisian league. Top of the Tunisian league. Yeah, I don't know if you can really even go up with anything here, but yeah, we'll consider that a good thing. Flamengo. Let's see who the best players are. Someone did suggest someone from Flamengo, I'm sure. Yeah, De Arrascata. Do we pick him? Is he on anything? He is on the penalties and the corners. Okay. And how is it for 9 goals, top goal scorer? Right, that's the one that's going on my team. De 8% owned as well. I actually can't catch a break. And then we've got 10 million budget left. Julian Alvarez from Atletico. Do I want to pick an Atletico player against PSG though? I can see what you mean with the... I see what Tom means with all the Egyptian players. Okay. Palmer, I'm not interested. I guess I could just go Dembele. Ah. Okay. They are Risqueta. So that's what? 0.8 million in the bank. We'll lock that in for now. First draft made. What do we think? I could go cheap midfielder and decent forward. Yeah. Take Dembele out. Go for a decent attacker. That would be like an Mbappe. I don't think I could afford Mbappe actually. Mbappe, and then I'd have 4 million for a defender. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, 4 million for a midfield. I'll keep what I've got there now. Dembele isn't exactly a bad pick. Right, happy with that. I think that looks pretty decent. I could always downgrade Guerrero. Could always downgrade Takimi. Can always downgrade Dembele. I actually feel like that was quite easy to build a team, which is okay. I like the fact that I don't actually think I've got anyone under 5% owned. Svensson, and that's it. Fantastic. Let me know as well, is that kind of the template team that a lot of people are going for? Let me tweet it out. Just gonna sit with you for a minute while I go through this, because I don't want to show you my camera pictures. There we go. Oh. Right. First draft. Is this template or are we looking good? Live now. Grab that. What do we think? Template team? I feel like it must be fairly template. Everyone has Dumfries. There's a lot of better options than Çalhanoğlu. Okay. Interesting. Right, we'll go with this for now, and obviously we can make some changes. So what I want to do now is look at this team, obviously for match day 1. This is where we'll start to decide the chip strategies for the rest of it. El Shanawi. I had Hakimi. I had Vardiol. I had Guerrero. I had Mura. And I had Svensson. Midfield was Mastantano. I don't really care if I spell it wrong. I had Dembele. We had Çalhanoğlu, Olise, and the other guy. And then up front I had Haaland, Kane, and something. Agehoa. Right. Match day 1 for River Plate. He's playing against Reds. Move that in there. Boom. Okay, that didn't work. Boom. Nope, still didn't work. There we go. Al Shinawi. Who's Al Ali playing against? Inter Miami. Hakimi up against Atletico in the first day isn't great. I mean, I don't know how I feel about having 2 PSG players. In that first game against Atletico, so maybe that'll be something that gets changed. Wildcard match day 3, that's when the strongest teams will have already qualified and they'll rotate players. I think I'm kind of leaning towards that, purely because as well the fact that the strongest teams don't really have a good fixture in match day 3 either. Boom and boom. Guerrero for Bayern. Boom, boom. Porto. Play against Palmeiras. Boom. Boom. Dortmund, Fluminense, Çalhanoğlu for Inter, we've got that again, and Flamengo have them. I feel like Darius, this guy, could be a really nice one. So that's the team for match day 1. A lot of green fixtures, and then we're picking the best team in the world, technically, in PSG, up against Atletico, which I think, obviously, on paper isn't going to be the best compared to the other teams that people have, but I think they're still good players, obviously, who've done well. Now, what I want to do is look at these players again, but in a match day 2 sense. So, River Plate don't have the best fixture, but it's not bad against Monterrey in match day 2. El Shinawi for Al Ali is playing against Palmeiras, again, not terrible. PSG, now this is where PSG start to get the better fixtures against Botafogo, and as well as Dembele. Vardiol from Man City. Al Ain. I think we've already got that in here. Good fixture. Good fixture. Bayern Munich. Playing against Boca Juniors, which isn't a terrible fixture. There's a lot of yellows in here this time. Porto up against Inter Miami. Which is going to be that. Svensson for Dortmund. Mamelodi Sundowns. Is he the only Dortmund player I've got? Okay, so a lot of people seem to be going for more Dortmund players. I've only got one in my current team. River Plate, again, I forgot about that. Çalhanoğlu for Inter. Up against the Red Diamonds. So I probably want more Inter players, like a Lautaro Martinez would probably be really good there. And we've got Flamengo again, who are up against Chelsea. So he's probably one that I would want to sub out for that match. What's that? 11. So that's how the team looks for Matchday 2, which again isn't too bad either. Torpedo Runner, how are we? Thank you for coming. Auckland should have their own difficulty colour because they're semi-pro. Tom says he's posted a few times about Auckland. Let's see. Let's have a wee look. I don't know. I actually don't know how to read that odds. Is that a big thing? I think it's some. I think I've seen something that said 90 to 1 for Auckland to win. Are they actually semi-pro? That's mental if they're semi-pro. That is crazy. What was I on? This one on. The best game strategy, we'll find out, hopefully, very soon. Just above the mighty Weldstone and Brackley Town in the Opta rankings. Gee. Right, so who are Auckland playing then, and who do we have to triple up on every single week? Bayern, Benfica. Okay, so Pavlidis, like you said. Tom. Do I want to turn it? So who did I wanted probably Lautaro and Pavlidis for Matchday 2. But that's going to be hard to get in. I'm going to make another section for players that I would like to own in these parts. Just to see, and obviously that will be useful for, you know, deciding when like the wild card and stuff could be used. So Pavlidis up against Auckland, and then Lautaro up against the Red Diamonds. Like a Dumfries would be good there as well. Obviously I can maybe go back and add these guys into my Matchday 1 team as well. Yeah, I think a lot of the Inter Milan players do seem to be pretty decent. That's a good point as well. The -3 hits could be, yeah, that's a very good point because they look fantastic. The fact that it's only -3 for a hit, because I actually, over the course of this year's FPL season, the more I've kind of like reduced the idea of being scared of a -4, because there was so many times that I didn't take a -4 and I could have gained so many points over a couple of weeks. And I'm kind of next season maybe going into it thinking the -4 really isn't that bad. So the fact that it's -3 in this game is very interesting, and definitely I see what you mean with definitely a lot more able to take hits. About the difficult colour, I feel Al Ain are tougher than the MLS teams. They can't be the 2024 Asian Champions League winners for nothing. Yeah, I get that. I think it is based on the power rankings on Opta. Obviously this is FPL Bartowski's fixture ticker that we're using. But yeah, I do get that. I'm going to delete Kane's name out of these because it looks a bit confusing. Right, so let's see how the team looks for Matchday 3 now as well. Again, without even needing to look at this, it does seem to be Matchday 3 wildcard is going to be the way to go. River Plate are playing Inter Milan, so that's already off to a bad start. Al Ali playing Porto. PSG, that's where they're starting to get, yeah, so they're up against Seattle PSG. which is still a yellow fixture. Vardiol, Man City, I'm pretty sure they're decent. No, they don't have a good fixture. Who are Man City playing against? Juventus, okay. Juventus is a red fixture. So again, like you can see clearly off the bat, it's not really looking too great. And Bayern have Benfica as well. So yeah, I think it's very clear now where the best time to use the wildcard is going to be. Because like I said, most people are going to have like most of these players, with the fact that I've only got one player under 5% owned. Al Ali for Mura. Not one green fixture yet either. Svensson for Dortmund. I think they've got a good one. Yeah, so they're playing against Ulsan. Çalhanoğlu, Inter Milan have River Plate. And De Arrascaeta for Flamengo is playing against LAFC. But again, I probably would have used a couple of transfers here as well. So that is it. So like I said, very clear when the best time to use that wildcard is going to be. Just check 11ify website. Let me double check. Is there something on there? Oh yeah, lovely. Clean sheet odds. And everything already. What a website this is, by the way. If you don't have it, totally free. So Bayern are expected to score the most goals in Matchday 1. Nearly 5 goals they're expected to score. Chelsea are expected to do well as well. City, I'm looking at City for Matchday 1 and Matchday 2. Is looking good. Strategy for me is 12th man in Matchday 1 on a Bayern player. Matchday 2 max captain. Some great fixtures on the 20th. Wouldn't like to captain on Campbell on a captain. My Matchday 3 wildcard. I think it does seem to be the best strategy, Tom. So I like that. Cucurella, never even thought about Cucurella. He could be a good one. How are they for clean sheets? Most amount of clean sheets. Chelsea are right up there as well. Good chance of a clean sheet in Matchday 1. Good chance of a clean sheet in Matchday 3. A little bit lower in Matchday 2 though. So if you are going to be wildcarding in Matchday 3, maybe not that great. Bayern defence looking really good. City defence looking really good for 1 and 2. Inter looking pretty decent for 1 and 2 as well. Juventus really good for 1 and 2. Flamengo a very good chance of a clean sheet in Matchday 1. If you want to go for some cheap Flamengo defenders. Colwell, however you spell it, is under 5%. I like that as well. Yeah. How much was he? He was in this. Colwell, 5.3. Yeah, that under 5% thing is going to be something I'm going to have to take a bigger look into, because that's huge for points. So if we're looking at the forward line, let me start another one. So if we want to look at the forward line, potential strikers. Oh, I've just messed that up. Potential strikers on match day 1, because this seems to be when people are using the 12th man. So we want to make sure that this is the time to use it. So strikers for match day 1, you've got Haaland, you've got Kane, you've got Mbappe, you've got I can't remember how it is. I want to say it's something like that. No, it's that, isn't it? Ikeova. Juventus strikers, Yildiz. Still another option. Who have I got? Haaland, Kane, that. Yildiz. It's obviously going to be midfielders as well that you could potentially look at. But the Bayern 12th man with the 4, like a Musiala in there, is a really decent shout. Lunatic, I never saw your message. I think it's quite high up. I think you should have under 5% goalkeepers and defenders so they get the bonus with every clean sheet. That's true. That's also true, actually. Yeah, that's a decent shout. Gurasi, Pavlidis, I'll add them in as well. Having 4 premium forwards in match day 1 feels good. Yeah, where else are we looking for those guys? So we've got the short list. Messi. Who's Messi playing in match day 1? Al Ali. We'll add them in as well. So that is that. So this is potential strikers for match day 1. And obviously their fixtures. Yeah, I don't need to do that actually. Haaland playing against Wydad. Kane playing against Auckland. Mbappe, who are Real playing against? Al Hilal. That was a yellow one. Samu playing against Palmeiras. Yildiz playing against Al Ain. If I can fit the full name, I'll fit the full name in. That was a green one, I believe. Yep. Pavlidis is playing against Boca. Gurasi playing against Fluminense. And I don't know why I've typed Al Ali in the bottom. Who's playing against Al Ali? Miami, that was Messi. And that was also yellow. Yeah. So really we're looking at these. Again, you're going to have 3 of these players. Haaland and Kane's going to be in everyone's team. You're going to have one of the other ones. Do we think that's necessary then? To have 4 of them? Obviously Gurasi looks like a really good option as well. And you can pick any price point as well, so I suppose your midfielders as well look quite decent. You know, I like the idea of chucking in a 4th Bayern player. Is that definitely a thing where that doesn't matter? You can pick anyone. That is what it said, didn't it? 12th man, 1 additional player. You can pick any player to be your 12th man, yeah. So there's no restrictions, so you can pick a 4th Bayern player. So Musiala is probably going to be a good option. Triple up on the Bayern attack against Auckland, who again, as we can see by our wonderful 11-5 predictions, Bayern are expected to score almost 5 goals in match day 1. So if you can get Musiala, Elise and Kane, that's going to be really nice. And I quite like that as an option. Just said to check Ryan Holland's head for LA. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Holling's head, 0% owned, 5 million defender, so he's a little bit expensive. Let's have a look. 1 goal, 1 assist in 9 matches. I mean, he seems to be playing pretty decently. LA, I don't know if they've got the best fixtures. I'll add him to the shortlist anyway. Holling's head for LAFC. 5 mil. What else have we got? Also, Inter Miami playing at home against Al Ahly. Home advantage. Oh yeah, I never thought about Miami playing at home. So, it was going to be Max Captain in week 2. How do we feel about Max Captain in week 1? And then another player in here. A 12th man in match day 2. Is that an option? Is anyone considering that? Because you could look at match day 1. You've got Haaland. This is for any captain. Obviously, you're probably going to captain Kane in match day 1. Missing out on Haaland as a captaincy. Is that really it? I suppose that's probably it, isn't it? You captain Kane in match day 1, pretty straightforward. Everyone goes for that. And then in match day 2, you just go for whoever does best. I think I like Max Captain more in match day 1. Oh, it disappeared. Pavlidis, 12th man in match day 2. Do we want Pavlidis for more than 1 match day? See, you wouldn't want him for Bayern, but you're potentially looking to wildcard then anyway. So you're really just looking at match day 1 and 2. You could always start with Pavlidis. I like the idea of making sure you get the best captain out of Bayern players. See, that's what I mean. Like, if Olise goes and bags a 20-pointer over Kane, obviously that's where the max captain would come into it. I think I'll do max captain match day 1 and 12th man match day 2. Planning getting a PSG player without having to take a hit, and then I'll wildcard them in match day 3 anyways. Yeah. I don't mind max captain in match day 1, but I feel like in match day 2, you're going to have Haaland again anyway. You're going to have whichever Inter players you've got against the Red Diamonds. Potentially be bringing in an Mbappe against Pachuco. You've got Pavlidis against Auckland. There's a lot of good players. And then obviously your PSG players against Botafogo as well. The max captain is probably going to be a bit better in match day 2. In match day 1, I feel like you're just going to be going Bayern. So I think for me, I would be probably going 12th man, and then it's going to be Bayern player. And that way you get 4 Bayern players. Match day 2, you're looking at max captain. And then you could be looking at Haaland. You'd be looking at Taro. You'd be looking at Kane still. You know, Olise. Mbappe. Pavlidis. Dembele. You know, I feel like if you use the max captain here, you've got Mbappe. But is anyone actually picking Mbappe in match day 1? I don't really feel as like I've seen a lot of people going for Mbappe. I prefer max captain in matchday 1 since we're not yet sure about the teams and both Elise or Kane can haul, not sure which one, but I see the appeal for 4 Bayern players in matchday 1 as well. I think it is kind of just like, would you rather have the extra Bayern attacker or make sure you have the right Bayern attacker? And I feel like if you have the extra one, there's a better chance of them matching the max captaincy, which I think the max captaincy is just a lot better in matchday 2 with the amount of options that are available. Matchday 3 is the obvious wildcard option. 100%. So it is just the 12th man and the max captain there. Can you explain what does this chip mean? Ah yeah, Torpedo's got that one. It would be really fun owning Messi in fantasy again. I know. That's also true. If they get a good... Not really. I guess that matchday 1's probably going to be their best fixture. I've got Mbappe, Kane and Vinny. No Haaland? I think I might like Mbappe 12th man more than a 4th Bayern player, considering the doubts with Musiala's fitness and other attackers. Okay, I didn't realise Musiala was a fitness injury, a fitness risk. If so, that does make that a little bit more appealing. Where is he? Mid-June. Okay, so one to keep an eye out for then. Check Buanga for matchday 2. I swear I've got him in the shortlist. Do I not? I swear I had him in the shortlist. Buanga, LAFC, 0% owned, 7 million forward. Against Esperance. Buanga. 7 goals in 13 matches. Interesting. Oh, is he the... where have I seen him? Did he used to play in the French league? He did. That's my FIFA knowledge from back in the day. My FIFA knowledge expands from FIFA 12 to like FIFA 20. So I've only got a couple of years left before all that disappears. Could start without a Bayern defender and max captain to get the best out of both worlds. True, but then the Bayern defender's like a locked-in clean sheet. Musiala hasn't played in a while. Also true. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just start writing. Did I just start writing stuff? So basically we're looking at twelfth man Bayern player, max. Let's look at the different options. Max captain. Who would your 12th man be in matchday 2? If you're going to be using the max captain in matchday 1, who's going to be your pick for the matchday 2 12th man? While I do this. Haaland. That's a good shout, actually, if you didn't want to go for... Surely you've got to own Haaland in matchday 1, though, for Wydad. Pavlidis, if Auckland perform as we expect. I feel like you could start with Pavlidis, though. I get that you probably would want another attacker. Dembele. Fair. But then they've got a good game in match day. But you would be wildcarding. Hakimi. Pavlidis or Dembele. Yeah, I get it. I think with Pavlidis you could just start. I think with Dembele, yeah, I do get it. I do get that. But then, if we're talking about just the 12th man chip, surely the extra Bayern player is going to be more useful than Dembele against Botafogo, or who's the other one? Pavlidis. I think Pavlidis against Auckland could be a really good shout, but he could easily be a transfer. I don't know. It depends how much you value that extra Bayern player, I suppose. Pavlidis isn't super expensive. Yeah, you could maybe want a more expensive one as well. Use that on a premium player. You could argue the same thing with the 12th man in Matchday 1 as well. You know, Musiala's not the most expensive player in the world, if it is going to be him that you go for. I just feel as though the max captain's going to be a lot more useful in Matchday 2, just because of the amount of good options there is. But at the same time, there is a lot of strikers in there. You know, we've got 5 strikers on that list, where the 12th man could also come in handy. Harry, I have Gnabry. Even if he doesn't start, he can easily get involvements from the bench and for differential bonus. True. I think you definitely want someone who is going to be starting. But, you know, if last minute we get some news towards the deadline that Gnabry's going to be starting, if Musiala's still injured or something like that, maybe Thomas Müller. You know, he's been starting in place of Musiala. Is he a differential instead? Is he 0% owned? 0% owned for Müller. I feel like he would probably be a bit better than Gnabry at this point of time. Joshua, KDB, mind he's away. He's not there anymore. I think he's joining Napoli. Yeah, do you know, I think I'm quite happy with where we're at. I think the 12th man, the wildcard definitely gets used in Matchday 3. We'll wait and see what happens with the mystery booster. Max captain and 12th man, between Matchday 1 and 2, does seem to be the big difference with chip strategies. It does seem as though everyone has the same chip strategy, barring these 2 chips. You know, one will get used in Matchday 1, one will get used in Matchday 2. Definitely wouldn't be saving any of the chips. Because obviously the easy fixtures are going to come in the group stages. And when we say easy fixtures, we mean very easy fixtures. For example, like Tom's been saying, Auckland are a very, very poor team. And obviously semi-pro, which was also said. Do you know if you can change your 12th man before they play? I think you can, because I'm pretty sure it did say you can even deactivate it up until the deadline. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to change it at any point. For me, I'm going Kane, Haaland, Samu, and Pavlidis would mean selling Kane or Haaland probably, which I'm not excited about. 12th man might be the way to Pavlidis. I wouldn't mind selling Kane against Boca Juniors. I don't think that's the worst idea, because at the end of the day you've still got Elise for cover. Obviously, if it was an ideal world, you would probably have Kane for Boca Juniors, but I would much rather have Pavlidis for that Auckland game. I don't know, I feel like of my front 3, Kane would be the sell. Haaland's playing against Alain. Another potential sell. I mean, I don't know how good Alain are, but Haaland hasn't been in the best of form. maybe we'll be smarter about the 12th man when we see the Matchday 1 matches. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Max captain in Matchday 1, because you don't know the form of any of the teams, and it's just a good way to get off to a good start. Yeah, I see that. But yeah, I don't really think there's too much else for me to go over at this point. Realistically, I will, if you're maybe just joining or you've only been here for a little bit, I will have a chip strategy video out probably this week, and we'll just sum everything up that we've talked about so far. But yeah, I don't really think there's really too much else to go over. We've got a lovely shortlist, which we have now been provided. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free. We've also got obviously our drafts. We kind of know the rough chip strategy now. Wildcard is definitely going to be getting used in Matchday 3. 12th man or max captain in Matchday 2 as well. And of course we've got Bartowski's fantastic fixture ticker. So this is my first draft as it stands. Definitely won't be the draft that we end up with. Over the next couple of days we'll do a little bit more tinkering. Obviously this was just made pretty much on the spot. And then we'll have another draft video out in a couple of days as well. Is there any videos you guys want to see over this week? You know, I can obviously take some suggestions and see what there is. Thank you, Gareth. I appreciate that. I agree with what Gareth just said. Make sure you do like and subscribe if you did enjoy. But yeah, if you've got any video ideas, drop it in the chat before we go, and I'll do it this week. Whether that's differentials, you know, obviously we'll do a chip strategy and we'll have a draft video as well. And yeah. But yeah, that was like what, 2 hours 20 minutes? I feel like that was okay. That's not the worst. I've had longer than that. Do a rate your drafts video. Okay, I could potentially look into that. Let me just adjust. Yeah, we could do a rate your drafts video. Probably more towards the deadline, I think. Maybe that'll be something we do next week. But yeah, if you haven't joined the mini league, it's that way. If you haven't joined the mini league, there's your code, and the link is in the description to join straight away. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out. 2.5 hours, great stream. I think we can add about 30 viewers throughout, which was fantastic. So thank you to every single person who did come. I think, what did we end up with total? 278 total viewers. So thank you. Your UCL chip strategy helped me get to top 1000. Keep it up. Looking forward to the strategy video. Thank you, mate. But that is all you. All you. Top 1000 is such a good rank, especially this year, considering it was, you know, such a hard year to try and predict what was going to happen with it being so different. Alphabet, thank you for coming out. Sparta, the same, thank you very much. But yeah, thank you all. We've got 2 weeks until the deadline. 13 days, 12 days, I think. So a lot more videos coming out between now and then. So that's going to be it for me. Maybe I'll look and do more live streams at some point. I do quite enjoy doing them. I think it has been like a whole year since I last done another one, but yeah. But yeah, thank you all. See you in a little bit.